Did the Sabbath rest and Israel's rest from Egyptian slavery in the land of promise picture a better rest and a better promised land in eternity? Do we who have believed enter that rest? Why did a generation rest on the day of rest, but not enter the land of rest? Is there a rest that another Joshua, Jesus, invites us to? Let's find out in Hebrews 4. Do we find true rest on a Sabbath day or in a land? Is there a land anywhere in this world where we can find true rest from all evils? Is our true rest a day, the land, or an eternal rest? Let us therefore fear lest a promise being left of us of entering into his rest, any of you should seem to come short of it. Was good news given to them and us? Even though it was better news and an eternal land of promise for us. For indeed we've had good news proclaimed to us, just as they also. But the word that was heard did not profit those who were not united with faith among those who heard. For we who have believed enter that rest, just as he has said, "As I swore in my wrath, they shall not enter my rest, although his works were finished from the foundation of the world." Was there a Sabbath rest? Was there a land of rest that a Sabbath-keeping people were not allowed to enter? For he has said somewhere concerning the seventh day, "And God rested on the seventh day from all his works." And again in this passage, "They certainly shall not enter my rest." Does it still remain for some to enter a figurative land of rest? Was disobedience the reason why they did not enter that literal land of rest? Therefore, since it still remains for some to enter that rest, and since those who formerly had the good news proclaimed to them did not go in because of their disobedience, God again set a certain day, calling it today. This he did when a long time later he spoke through David, as in the passage already quoted, "Today, if you hear his voice, do not harden your hearts." Did Joshua give a Sabbath-keeping people who entered the land of rest true rest? Is there another day and another rest for the people of God? Is there a rest from our own worldly works? If Joshua led Israel into the land of rest, but not to a true rest, does there remain another rest and another Joshua, Yeshua, Jesus? For if Joshua had given them rest, then he would not afterward have spoken of another day. There remains therefore a rest for the people of God. For he who has entered his rest has himself also ceased from his works, as God did from his. Did Jesus speak of another rest not in a day, not in a land, but in himself? "Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I'll give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I'm gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." To enter that eternal land of rest and that eternal day of rest, should we do our best to obey or disobey God? So let us do our best to enter that rest. But if we disobey God, as the people of Israel did, we'll fall. Does the Word of God open our eyes to what's in our hearts? Does God see all? For the Word of God is living and active and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing of soul and spirit, of both joints and marrow, and is able to discern the thoughts and intentions of the heart. There's no creature that's hidden from his sight, but all things are naked and lay open before the eyes of him to whom we must give an account. What should we hold fast? Does Jesus understand our situations? Also, let's hold on to the confession, since we have a great high priest who passed through the heavens, who is Jesus, God's Son, because we don't have a high priest who can't sympathize with our weaknesses, but instead one who was tempted in every way that we are, except without sin. What should we do when we're in need? Should we go to God? So whenever we're in need, we should come bravely before the throne of our merciful God. There we'll be treated with undeserved grace, and we will find help. Did the Sabbath rest and Israel's rest from Egyptian slavery in the land of promise picture a better rest and a better promised land in eternity? Do we who have believed enter that rest? Why did a generation rest on the day of rest, but not enter the land of rest? Why did those who entered the land of rest not find rest? Is there a rest that another Joshua, Jesus, Yeshua, invites us to? You decide.